I'll be honest with you, negativity is way too loud and positivity is way too quiet. For me, it's practical positivity, right? So for me, where this conversation goes is like, for a lot of people, they could be sitting here and being like, well, it's easy for you to say. Like, people go immediately to your current, right? And, I just don't see it that way. I really genuinely believe that it's a complete game of who you spend time with and what's pumping into your ears. And so that has led me down a path of really trying to have conversations with people around limiting time with negativity. And sometimes that's hard because a lot of times that might be your mother and father or your best friend for the last 30 years. But I've been fascinated by people changing just by changing who they spend time with and what they listen to. That saying is so real. Like, you gotta really look around who you're spending time with. It is unbelievable to me watching employees in my company spend time in certain divisions and then get transferred. I mean, if they get transferred to my team, it's a complete brain twist of work ethic and mindset and things of that nature. But even different teams with positive leaders, like, you can just see it. And I think you can talk all day long about like, hey, be happier or see it better.
If you really want to achieve success, you have to make sure that you know what it takes to be successful. When you're going out there and pursuing your dreams, you have to make sure that you are fully committed to whatever it is that you want to achieve. Now, that's going to mean you're going to have to be focused and dedicated on your goals and your dreams, and they're going to be hard to achieve. It's not going to happen overnight. You're going to have to put in tons and tons of time and energy and effort and put your mind to it and focus on what it is that you genuinely want to achieve. So many people claim they want to go after their dreams or their goals or their aspirations, whatever the case may be, but they never do. They just talk about it and they never put an effort forward. They never take that first step of trying to become successful and that individual they dream of becoming. So that's what you need to do, is make sure you get started as soon as possible, no matter what excuses you have of thinking that you can't get started right now. Whether it's not the right time, or you don't have enough money, or you don't have enough energy, or you don't think you will be successful. Put all that aside and just take a step. Try to become that individual you need by taking small steps to improve your life every single day. You're not going to have to be these huge leaps or bounds of great progress, but just little bits here and there every single day, which will eventually add up to these huge, giant leaps and bounds of progress that you'll see, and you'll look back and you'll be so glad that you took those little steps every single day. So you should wake up and try to be better than you were the day before.
The level of complaining is unacceptable. Look, what if I told you this was the last Monday morning of your life? What if I told you die this week? Would you complain about your crap job or that test you don't want to take? I doubt it. You would go much higher level thinking. Well, that's really what it takes. It takes understanding that if you're not pumped right now, if you're begrudging what you're about to do, if you're not looking forward to it, look, I respect practicality. You gotta go through school because your parents want to. You gotta pay your rent. You got student loans. I get it. But please recognize the world we're living in. We're living in a world where there's so much more opportunity. This internet thing created way more opportunity for all of us. You could have ended up being a bus, a tree. I just don't get the mentality of being head down sad on a Monday morning. I'm gonna make Monday morning I'm gonna make you Saturday Monday morning. That's what I wanna do every morning, and that's what I want from you. Please, take a step back, think about how awesome it actually is, and then recognize that you can attack the world in a totally different way. You were lucky enough to be born during this era.
I want to give them practical advice, and hustle's the only thing. I can't tell people become more talented. Like, you're not, like, hey, become smart. Like, smarter was good, that was good advice, but that's not good advice anymore because information's at our hand. Like, memorizing information is not good advice anymore. What is controllable? Work 3 hours more a day. Like, now work 3 hours more a day if you're sitting at home and complaining. If you're not happy with your life, if you're pumped, if you make $1 million a year or $50,000 a year, if you see your kids every day, if you never see your kids, if you go to tons of ball games, if you've never watched sports, however you roll, if you're pumped, if you're watching right now and you're pumped, mazel tov, like, I'm so happy. If you sit at home right now and you're watching this on a small screen on your laptop and you're not pumped, the one thing that I know everybody can do is watch a little less of House of Cards, is go to the bar a couple less times with their buddies, it's play a couple less games on your... That is why I'm obsessed with hustle, because it's the one variable that everybody can control that can change the outcome of their lives. If you're putting on an entrepreneurial jersey, it's kind of like UFC. Like, nobody's gonna go undefeated. What's interesting is the word that really resonated to me in the back was compassion and empathy. I walked into my dad's single store liquor store and took it from a $3 to a $60 million business as a 22-year-old to 28 years old, so I had it. But to stand here this morning in front of you, it's crazy to me how much experience matters. I thought I was great, and I'm still that same person. I have those raw talents, but I have the great fortune of 20 years of experience and the great fortune of listening to the community and the comments and the feedback. The person that hosts the party has the leverage. If you start the St. Louis Business Podcast Show and then you spend 5 hours DMing, emailing, and reaching out to all the other business owners in St. Louis and inviting them to be on your podcast named the St. Louis Business Podcast, you, by just taking the initiative, have flipped the leverage and now will have much bigger business owners than you interested in being on your podcast. Through that, you will build general awareness in your region and you will build reputation as a top of the funnel lead gen to what you actually do.
Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, please go ahead and like the video, go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let us know what you thought down in the comments section down below.